Welcome to Reach Pharmacy Health Talks.
Okay, so you've sent us a ton of stuff on flu jabs in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Websites, blog
Yeah.
posts, the whole shebang.
It seems like you're really trying to stay healthy this winter.
And honestly, who can blame you?
Right.
Flu season in Glasgow, it's no joke.
It's serious stuff.
But, instead of just hitting you with the same old get your flu jab message,
Yeah.
we're going to dig a little deeper today.
We are.
We're going to find out why the flu is way more than just a bad cold, how well these jabs actually work, and what your options are for getting protected right here in the city.
And you know what's interesting?
What's that?
We tend to use the word flu pretty casually.
Yeah, we do.
But when it comes to your health, knowing the difference between the flu and a common cold is really important.
Okay, so true, because we've all done it right.
Yeah.
You wake up with a scratchy throat and you're like, oh no, here we go again.
Exactly.
But how can we really know if it's actually the flu?
That's where understanding influenza as a virus comes in. It's a respiratory virus, to be exact, which basically means it messes with your lungs and airways.
Makes sense.
And while you might have some of the same symptoms as a cold, the flu hits you way harder and faster.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Think fever, chills, muscle aches, the whole 9 yards.
The whole shebang.
It's not pretty.
Definitely not just a sniffle then.
Not at all.
And I'm guessing this is where those at-risk groups come in.
Absolutely.
The ones Reach Pharmacy kept mentioning.
Right. For most healthy people, the flu might mean a week on the couch feeling awful, but it usually goes away on its own.
Right.
But for some people, it can lead to more serious problems like pneumonia or even landing in the hospital.
That's scary.
That's why it's so important for people over 65, pregnant women, and anyone with underlying health conditions to get their flu jabs.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does.
I remember seeing asthma, COPD, and cystic fibrosis on that list.
Yeah.
What makes those conditions so risky when it comes to the flu?
It all boils down to your body's ability to fight back. These conditions, they kind of weaken your respiratory or immune system, right?
Right
So
on.
you're more vulnerable to infections in general.
Okay.
Now, add the flu on top of that, and your body's basically fighting a war on two fronts.
Oh, wow.
It's like trying to run a marathon with a backpack full of rocks.
Yeah, you're already at a disadvantage.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a really powerful way to put it.
It is what it is.
And suddenly getting the flu jab doesn't seem like just another errand.
Right.
It's about giving your body the absolute best chance to fight back, especially if it's already dealing with those health issues.
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
So we've talked about how important the flu jab is, especially for those more vulnerable groups. But let's break it down. How does this jab actually work?
Okay, so imagine this. You're giving your immune system a sneak peek at the enemy's plan.
Okay, I like where this is going.
That's basically what the flu jab does.
Tell me more.
The jab has a weakened or inactive version of the flu virus in it.
Okay.
It's not strong enough to actually make you sick, but it's just enough to get your immune system's attention.
This is like a heads up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your body sees this harmless version of the virus and thinks, hold on, we need to be ready for this, and starts making antibodies to fight it off.
So it's like showing your body a wanted poster of the flu virus.
Yeah, you got it.
So it knows what to look out for if the real deal ever shows up.
Exactly. And because of this head start, your immune system is primed and ready to fight back, making you much less likely to get sick.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh,
But what about those strains of the flu that aren't in the vaccine?
that's a great question. And even if you do happen to catch a strain that's not included in the vaccine, your symptoms are likely to be way milder.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I do remember one thing from those Reach Pharmacy articles. They said that community pharmacies in the UK gave out over 1 million flu jabs last year.
Wow.
1 million. That just seems like a lot.
It's a big number for sure. And it really shows you how important pharmacies are becoming for things like vaccinations.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely more convenient. You can usually just walk in without an appointment.
Exactly.
Speaking of convenience, how long does it actually take for the flu jab to kick in?
Right. It's not instant, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It takes about 2 to 3 weeks for your body to build up full immunity.
Oh, wow. So it's not like a light switch.
No, not at all.
Okay.
That's why getting vaccinated early before the flu really starts going around is so important.
Got it. So get ahead of the game. Give your body that fighting chance. Now, we've been talking a lot about Reach Pharmacy, and they seem to be pretty popular in Glasgow, but are they the only place to get a flu jab?
They're definitely not your only option. You can always go through the NHS.
Right, like at your GP's office.
Exactly. And the NHS actually offers free flu jabs to certain groups.
Oh, okay. Who's eligible for that?
So the free jabs are for people who are considered most at risk, like those over 65 pregnant women and people with certain health conditions.
Okay, that's really good to know. So we got a couple options here. Then the free option through the NHS, which is amazing, but might mean booking an appointment and navigating that system.
Right.
And then there's Reach Pharmacy, which seems to be all about convenience with their walk-in service, but they do charge a fee since they're not part of the free NHS program in Glasgow.
Yeah, you've got, it really depends what's important to you, convenience versus cost, and of course your own personal situation.
That makes sense. It's all about figuring out what works best for you.
Right.
So that makes sense, weighing those options and all.
Right.
But let's say someone's made up their mind, they're going with Reach Pharmacy for their jab. Are we talking about just one location, or are they all over Glasgow?
Well, based on what we've seen, it seems like Reach Pharmacy has a pretty big presence in the city.
Okay, so like...
We're talking Finnieston, Gartcosh, Elderslie, Johnstone, even Howwood and Speightstown.
Wow.
And that's not even all of them.
So they're everywhere.
Pretty much.
No excuses then.
Exactly.
And if I'm remembering correctly, they really make a point of that whole walk-in thing, right?
You're right. They do. Their marketing is all about convenience. Walk-in flu jabs. No appointment needed.
That's more.
Right. Because for busy people in Glasgow who are always on the go, that can be a big deal.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think about calling to make an appointment and waiting on hold, and I'm like, maybe later.
Exactly. So they've really tapped into that.
They have.
It's about making it as easy as possible to get vaccinated.
Absolutely. But even with how easy it is to get a flu jab and all the protection it gives you, we can't forget about the simple stuff.
You're right.
Those basic hygiene things we all know, but maybe don't always do as well as we should.
It's true.
Like that slogan Reach Pharmacy uses, catch it, bin, kill it. So catchy.
It sticks with you.
It really does, but it's true.
It is.
Those simple things, catching coughs and sneezes in a tissue, throwing away, use tissues right away, and washing our hands all the time can really make a difference in stopping the virus from spreading. So it's like a 1-2 punch. But get the flu jab to protect yourself and keep up with those good hygiene habits to protect yourself and everyone else too.
Exactly. Vaccination isn't just about you. It's about all of us working together to keep each other healthy, especially those who are more likely to have complications.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
We all have a part to play.
We do. Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into flu season in Glasgow, I feel like I've gone from, yeah, I should probably get that flu jab at some point, to, okay, I know what's up. I'm booking my appointment today.
That's great to hear.
You've really explained the why behind it all, not just the what.
I'm glad it was helpful.
It definitely was. And, digging into all this got me thinking. Reach Pharmacy mentioned that the World Health Organization is the one who decides which flu strains go into each year's vaccine.
Right, they do.
Have you ever thought about how they decide that?
It's a pretty big responsibility.
It is. Like, how do they know which strains are going to be going around months from now? That's crazy. I've never even thought about it before. But it just shows you how much work goes on behind the scenes to keep us all healthy.
It's amazing when you think about it.
It really is. Thanks for getting me thinking about that.
You're welcome. Glad I could share that little mystery with you. Stay healthy out there.
Thank you for listening. Visit reachpharmacy.com, your go-to online pharmacy for all your medical needs in the UK.